Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Before we begin, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. He looked his closest colleague dead in the eye for weeks, lied through his teeth, and somehow nobody on that ITV panel had a clue. Now Shephard has finally come clean about exactly how he pulled off one of the boldest deceptions in Masked Singer history, and the woman he fooled the hardest wasn't a judge on the panel at all. It was his own This Morning co-host, Deeley, and by his own admission, he left her in tears. If you've been anywhere near a television this week, you'll already know the headline. Shephard, the man viewers wake up to every weekday morning on This Morning, spent the last several weeks of the Masked Singer's 7th series hiding behind a googly-eyed, slightly nervous-looking costume named Conkers. And he didn't just keep it quiet from the public. He kept it quiet from everybody, including the people who sit across a sofa from him 5 days a week and would, in theory, have every reason to clock something was off. For anyone who hasn't been following along, a quick bit of context. This Morning has been fronted by Shephard and Deeley since they took over the famous ITV sofa, and the pair have built a genuine on-screen friendship that audiences have come to love. Easy banter, real warmth, the kind of chemistry you can't fake for long. The Masked Singer, meanwhile, has become one of British television's most reliable end-of-winter obsessions, a singing competition where celebrities perform in elaborate, full-body costumes while a panel of judges, Maya Jama, Jonathan Ross, M.O. Gilligan, and Davina McCall, try to guess who's underneath. The show thrives entirely on secrecy. Contestants sign strict confidentiality agreements, rehearse away from prying eyes, and somehow manage to vanish from public life for weeks at a time without anyone putting two and two together. Which brings us to the twist that's got everyone talking. Shephard didn't just compete on this series of The Masked Singer. He'd actually appeared earlier in the run as a guest judge, sitting on the panel, throwing out guesses, playing along like everyone else. Which means that for at least 1 week, while Conkers sat out a performance, the man underneath the mask was sitting in the judging chair, presumably nodding along thoughtfully, as his fellow panelists try to work out who he was. It's the kind of detail that, once it clicks, makes the whole thing almost cinematic. And in this weekend's grand final, the secret finally came out. Conkers was unmasked as Shephard, and he finished the series as runner-up, a remarkable result for someone who'd been hiding in plain sight the entire time. Speaking after his unveiling, opened up about just how far he'd gone to protect the secret. He admitted that deception isn't really in his nature, joking that, as a rule, he considers himself pretty straightforward, and that pulling off something this underhand felt completely out of character for him. But pull it off he did. He described quizzing Davina McCall for details about what it's actually like to be a contestant on the show, peppering her with questions while knowing full well he was already living the answer. He disguised his voice during performances, kept his rehearsals well away from the ITV studios where his colleagues might spot him, and by all accounts walked into work every single day, maintaining a completely straight face. And that's where Deeley comes in. As his closest colleague, and the person he sits beside every single morning, had no idea what was up to. And when the reveal finally happened, the emotional weight of it clearly hit her hard. Has openly admitted that she cried the very first time she saw the Conkers costume, telling fans on social media that the design alone moved her to tears. It's a small but telling detail because it shows just how convincingly kept the wall up. This wasn't a colleague who'd had her suspicions all along and was simply relieved to have them confirmed. This was someone who watched the unveiling and was genuinely, emotionally blindsided. Himself didn't shy away from addressing the fallout once the mask came off. Taken to social media, he issued a tongue-in-cheek apology to viewers for his singing, joking that he was sorry to everyone whose songs he'd destroyed during his run, and even more apologetic to anyone who'd actually sat through and listened. But underneath the humor was real gratitude, particularly for the costume design team, who he credited as the true stars behind Conkers' success. The wider reaction online has been a mix of vindication and disbelief. Plenty of eagle-eyed viewers were quick to point out they'd suspected Conkers was Shephard from the very beginning, with fans flooding social media to celebrate getting the guests right. Others were simply stunned at the audacity of the whole thing, particularly the detail about him appearing as a guest judge while Conkers sat that week out. There's also been a lighter moment doing the rounds after Masked Singer host Joel Dommett accidentally let the secret slip in the most chaotic way possible by telling his 2-year-old son, who then promptly announced Ben's identity to his own father during bedtime, caught on a baby monitor. Joel shared the clip himself, joking that he'd even tried getting the toddler to sign an NDA, and it still hadn't worked. It's the kind of accidental, very human mishap that's added an extra layer of charm to an already entertaining story. So what does this mean going forward? For this morning, it's mostly good news. Stunts like this tend to generate exactly the sort of warm, feel-good publicity that boosts a presenter's profile without any of the risk and Ben's willingness to throw himself into something so far outside his comfort zone is likely to only deepen the audience's affection for him. There's also been chatter about whether this could open the door to other This Morning or Breakfast television names taking part in future series of The Masked Singer, given how well it's landed with viewers. As for Kat Deeley, her emotional reaction has only added to the sense that the show's success rests on a genuine, unscripted friendship between the two hosts, something audiences clearly respond to, and that ITV will be keen to keep front and center. There's also mild speculation swirling about whether Ben might be tempted back for a future series in some capacity, whether as a judge again or even as a contestant once more, although nothing official has been confirmed on that front. So there you have it. A presenter who insists he's far too honest for his own good managed to deceive his colleagues, his co-judges, and an entire viewing public for weeks on end, all while turning up to work every morning as if nothing was going on. Kat Deeley was left in tears, fans are still buzzing over the reveal, and Ben Shephard has cemented himself as one of the most memorable contestants this series of The Masked Singer has seen. What do you think? Were you one of the viewers who guessed Conkers was Ben Shephard all along? Or did this one catch you completely off guard? Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and make sure you're subscribed for all the latest news and updates from the world of British morning television.